Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a really fascinating topic, the BRICS alliance. It's not just about the countries in it or their economies. It's about how this coalition is shaking up the global scene, kind of like a new kid showing up in school and turning everything on its head. So let's explore how these countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are coming together to challenge the Western-led world order. It all started when economist Jim O'Neill first coined BRICS back in 2001. Can you imagine? Just a tiny acronym highlighting the potential of these nations, and, fast forward, we're now looking at a significant geopolitical force.
Whoa, that's wild. It's like they were the underdogs, right? So how did South Africa fit into this picture? Was it, like, the final puzzle piece or something?
Exactly. When South Africa joined in 2010, it was like adding that last piece to a complex puzzle. Each country brought its own strengths and challenges to the table. And then, in 2024, they expanded again to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE, with Saudi Arabia hanging in the wings. We're talking about a serious coalition here that represents a huge chunk of the global population and GDP.
Oh wow, so it's expanding rapidly. That's like, a party getting bigger and bigger, but then you've got to figure out how to keep everyone on the same page, right?
Absolutely. Initially, BRICS was all about amplifying the voices of emerging economies. They sought reform in major global institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. The global financial crisis in 2008-2009 really solidified their relationship, almost like they found common ground in a major crisis.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a team coming together during a tough game. But, what happens now? It seems like such a big group. Are there ever conflicts within?
Great question. Yes, indeed. As they expand, they're grappling with economic disparities and geopolitical tensions, kind of like a family that loves each other, but still argues over who gets the last slice of pizza. There are issues like border disputes, differing stances on international conflicts, and, at times, challenges to cohesion and decision-making.
Oh man, that's crazy. It's like trying to cook a meal with too many chefs in the kitchen. So how do they manage, like, any military or economic pushback from the US and its allies?
Exactly. The US and its allies view BRICS as a potential threat to their dominance and have resorted to sanctions and diplomatic efforts to counter BRICS's influence. Imagine being a kid trying to play soccer, but there's a bigger kid on the other team who keeps pushing you around.
Haha, right. And now they're talking about a common BRICS currency? What would that look like? It sounds like a big deal.
Yes, that's a fascinating development. The goal here is to reduce reliance on the US dollar, which would give them more economic freedom. Recent talk of a gold-backed currency and enhancing intra-BRICS trade using local currencies is a step in that direction. But there are still many practical challenges to consider, like economic differences and trust issues.
So, it's a bit like trying to play in a band when everyone has different tastes in music, right?
Exactly. No one wants to play off-key. The future of BRICS truly hinges on its ability to balance expansion while maintaining unity. That's the crux of it. With internal divisions and external pressures, this coalition could very well influence responses to significant global issues as we move towards a more multipolar world.
Wow, it's like they're riding a roller coaster with all these ups and downs. So you're saying China and Russia are key players in all this?
Yes, China is pushing for greater economic influence, positioning itself up front, while Russia is utilizing BRICS as a way to counteract the impacts of Western sanctions. Think of them as two people trying to navigate a tricky maze, each using the walls to pivot towards their desired exit.
That's an incredible analogy. So to wrap this all up, do you think BRICS can really redefine global power dynamics?
Without a doubt, they've evolved from a mere economic concept to an essential coalition with the potential to reshape how the world functions, even with all its internal struggles and external pressures. It's an exciting time to watch how BRICS continues to navigate its path.
That's such a thrilling prospect. I can't believe how much is at stake here.